Mr. Math here. Thanks for watching my videos. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember to click the bell icon to be notified of updates.
Hello again, viewers. Welcome back to Let's Play Super Metroid. This particular episode's commentary is being recorded after the fact because while I was recording the episode, somehow my microphone ended up on mute. I have no idea how that happened. I'm pretty sure I didn't push the mute button. I guess perhaps I did and didn't realize it. But anyway, so yeah, I'm recording after the fact, and I hope I remember everything. Yeah, this episode, I did a lot of fumbling and bumbling, but really that's nothing new. I did that in the first two episodes also. And, well, at any rate, at the end of the last episode, we got the power bombs. And now that we have the power bombs, we have the ability to find a lot of expansion pickups and find a lot of secret rooms that we did not have access to before. So this episode is mostly about that. You know, I start by just leaving the save room and going right into this room here to get that power bomb expansion. And once that's done, I'm going to just continue going further up to get to this elevator here and return to Crateria. Now, at the top of this elevator is a power bomb door, one of those yellow doors. Now, the nice thing about these doors that are locked behind a weapon is that once you open it the first time with that particular weapon, it remains unlocked. It's no longer a door locked by that weapon. Now it's just turned into a standard power beam door. In the commentary that didn't get recorded, I was trying to explain that, and in the course of trying to explaining that, I ended up falling back down through the open door. So that was the first real bumble and stumble that I went through in this episode. So we're back in Crateria, and I'm trying to get a speed booster charge here. Okay. And we're back at the ship. Also, the music in this overworld area has changed since the last time we were here. Now, what I'm going to do in the long run is head back to Brinstar and, as I said, just explore around to find a whole bunch of rooms that we didn't have access to before so that we can get a bunch of expansion pickups. Now, up here, where I just had Samus jump, is a tunnel. And I'm totally failing at getting up there. There we go, finally made it up. And this leads into a rather long and annoying region where there's, you know, rising and lowering acid. And it's possible to just speed booster your way through that area. And I fumbled and bumbled around quite a bit here, trying to get a speed booster charge so that I could blast my way through there, and I just was never able to do it. I know it's possible. I have done it on previous runs, but it's been long enough that I've basically lost the skill. I wasn't able to do it this time. And yeah, I'm trying to build up a speed booster charge on the top of this little plateau here, but this little plateau is too little to build up a speed booster charge. So what I tried to do was go to the platform above that, which is just barely big enough to get a speed booster charge. It took me some work because I just kept on failing at it. I was just blasting straight up like that. And so I basically, after a little bit of effort, I just gave up and decided to just walk through here the hard way. And yeah, I really messed this one up big time. And yeah, I just kept on falling into the acid and just generally making a big mess of this. And then on top of all of that, when I did finally get through here, I totally failed to get 2 of the 3 pickups that are available in this direction. I got one of them no problem, right on the other side of this door here. This E-tank, no problem at all. Although I should have waited until after I got it to set off that power bomb. Because, as you can see, those rocks just came back, and then when I went down through it, the acid had come up, and yeah. Basically just a lot of fumbling and bumbling, and yeah, I really didn't do a very good job here. Yeah, and like I said, on top of all that, the expansion pickups that are coming up, I failed to pick them up and ended up having to go through here a second time. So I spent a bit of time here getting health refills from those bugs. Now this next part coming up, there are some misconceptions about it. A lot of people believe that the 2 missile expansion pickups down here are impossible to get in a single run, and you have to come back through because you can only get one, and then you have to come back through and get the other. Well, it is possible to get them both, but I totally failed to get either of them, and I was really annoyed. I just messed that up completely. So yeah, I had to go back. I had to get back through. And I couldn't, for a moment, I couldn't remember how to get out of here. And there I remembered it. For a moment, I was tempted to just give up on those 2 missile expansions and continue on, but only for a moment, and I went ahead and came back. So yeah, I went quite far out of my way. Yeah. And if anything, I fumbled and bumbled even more when I got back out here. Than I did the first time. I made another go at getting the speed booster to work to let me through that area. And once again, I completely failed. But I tried harder at it. I was trying to shine spark diagonally up and right. But I had forgotten how to do that, so it took me a couple tries to remember. At first I just tried going straight up like so, and heading to the and falling down to the right to try to get to the platform up above. But I just wasn't able to make it work. It took me a while, but I did eventually remember how to shine spark diagonally. Now the real problem with shine sparking in Super Metroid is that it drains your health. So I knew I was taking a risk by trying to shine spark through that narrow tunnel to get back to those two missile expansions. Because it would drain quite a bit of life power, and it's dangerous going through that area with so little life. And there I finally remembered how to do the diagonal shine spark, but that first attempt was not quite far enough, so I wasn't able to get up onto the ledge I was trying to reach. So now I'm going a bit further from the right, and I make it easily this time. Now, first of all, this platform is long enough to get, to charge up the speed booster. But on top of that, there's a power bomb expansion pickup in here. So I came to get that, and now I'm going to go back to the ship. At least, ultimately, I'm going to do that. I am going to actually try the shine spark here, because there's only barely enough room on this ledge to get a speed booster charge. And then I had forgotten how to shine spark horizontally. And because I was low energy, I got a refill at the ship. And I'm not sure why I didn't save there, since I'd gotten the power bomb expansion. Might have been a good idea, just so that I didn't lose that little bit of progress. And it suddenly occurred to me also that, hey, that corridor needs to be reopened. I can't shine spark through here if it's closed. So let's open the corridor and open that door there. And now I can shine spark from that ledge off to the right. But first, of course, I have to get up there. Now, I made a big mistake here. I went through this door to get a slightly more space to build up the speed booster charge, without remembering that by doing that, it would close that corridor again. Not that it mattered, because I missed the jump to the platform that you have to speed booster from to get through that corridor. So yeah, I was really messing this up badly. I can't remember how much more time I spent on it, but at some point I was like, okay, doing this the easy way, doing this the quote-unquote easy way, is taking me more time than just doing it the hard way would. I am tired of this, I'm just going for it. Looks like, however, I wasn't quite at that point. So I refilled my energy again, and made one more attempt to shine spark through there. So, first, diagonal shine spark up to that platform. Then build up a speed booster charge here. And then shine spark from this platform here, only I couldn't figure out how to do that. I think I was trying to build up a shine spark right there, but yeah, that platform is not wide enough to do that. Okay, so one more energy refill. And this time I decided to save because, better safe than sorry. Yeah, it looks like I'd given up at this point and decided just to head on through. Because, yeah, I was spending more time trying to do it the quote-unquote easy way than just getting on with it. So yeah, I'm going through this again to get those 2 missile pickups. And I'm just blowing up those nasty centipede things to get them out of my way. Now, having learned a fair amount from my first pass through here, I was a little bit more careful, but I still made quite a few mistakes. Like that, for example. So this time I timed the power bomb for when the acid was going down, and I was able to get through that little part without getting burned again. And just carefully going through this region. Now, this next part, I think I am unable to avoid. Yeah, I'm unable to avoid taking damage. And I believe I still spent some time at this bug's nest to regain my health. And that was another mistake where I accidentally pushed the jump button instead of the attack button. And I'm trying to get more life pickups, but it kept dropping ammo. There we go. Getting some life refills. And yeah, that's good enough. So I come back here, and this time, as you're about to see, I do it properly, and I get both of the missile pickups. Okay, by shooting down and diagonally, I can get that area open. And now I'm on stable ground where I can shoot the other side. And now I can get through over there. Alright, as I said before, there is a misconception that you can only get one missile pickup at a time, and you have to come back here to get the second one. It is possible to get them both at once. I still had to do this twice because I messed up on the first attempt anyway. And just because I like keeping things symmetrical, I'm going to try to jump on those blocks on the left. I'm not sure what's taking me so long. There we go. Yeah. And so I just drop a power bomb here. Only to discover that there are these spots on the left and right that I hadn't realized were there. Now these green guys, the first time we came through here, we had to kill them with missiles. The beam weapon wasn't good enough. But now that we have the wave beam, it is possible to take them out with just the beam. Now I'm going to turn off the ice beam here so that I don't freeze them. It takes a little bit, it goes a little bit faster if they don't freeze before I kill them. And then going through here, these little jumpy guys dropped enough health pickups to completely refill my life meter. So all was good. And now we're going back down into Brinstar, having finished in Crateria. So, my goal is to go down into some secret areas that aren't on the map. And one of them, the entrance to it, is at the bottom of this shaft that we're in right now. So I need power bombs to get down here where that little crawly guy is down below me. Now this is a rather infamous area in the game. It's the part of the game that gives you a visual lesson on how to do the wall jump. Now on my way down the first time I noticed that closed door right there and went back up to check it out because out of the corner of my eye it looked like a missile door. Turns out no, it's not. Now, I spent a couple moments thinking that maybe there was an expansion pickup in the ceiling somewhere, but apparently not. Now this room, there is a secret gap in the floor. It's hidden behind some of those blocks. It is, I believe, 3 blocks wide and starts immediately to the right of that energy tank. So I am going to jump over that gap to the next room, pick up the energy tank and go into the next room so that I don't have to come back down here again. And now I'm going to fall down that hole on purpose. Now in this room right here is a save room. And you can use it if you want, but I choose not to. Because if you get stuck down here, then once you've saved, you're trapped for good, and the only way out is to wall jump. For newbies who don't know how to wall jump, that can be really, really annoying. And I was just trying to kill that guy from a distance. Okay, so here we have the Edicoons. These little green monkey-like guys show you how to wall jump. I'm pretty sure they're called Edicoons. Now to actually get out of here, you only need to succeed at a single wall jump. That first ledge right there is a way out. But if you actually want to get something for your trouble, you have to go all the way to the top of this shaft. See that little gap right there that one Edicoon ran into? There's a pickup over there, specifically a power bomb. And it took me a few tries to get in there. As you can see. There is an item that you get much later in the game that actually allows the morph ball to jump. You know, the morph ball jump item. You obtain it really late in the game, which is actually kind of annoying. Because there are all kinds of little places like this room right here where the morph ball jump would be incredibly useful. And yet, you're not going to have it for a long time, and then you need to come back later to get all these little rooms, unless you're good enough to jump into those gaps, jump up to those gaps, quickly switch into the morph ball, and go in that way, without the morph ball jump. And you have to power bomb to get out of here, just like you had to power bomb to get in here. Okay, so I was trying to open the menu to see, the map rather, to see where I was. And there are a few places I want to get to. Most of them are those blue areas that are on the top half of the map. The ones on the bottom half of the map, I'm going to ignore at least one of them. Okay, I was trying to build up a speed booster charge, but those blasted, oversized bugs knocked me out of it. And then by building up a speed booster charge, you find this hidden shaft and you fall down it. And I tried to demonstrate that yes, you can wall jump back up, only I failed at that. Yes, you can wall jump back up, but when you get to the top, the speed booster blocks that you broke through in the first place have reformed and you can't break them. unless you speed booster into them. So here is the Decora. I'm pretty sure this guy is the Decora. I tend to confuse the Edacoons and Decora. You know, I can't remember for sure which is which. I'm like 75% sure that this guy is the Decora and the little monkey guys are the Edacoons. It could be the other way around. This could be the Edacoon and those guys could be the Decoras, but I'm 75% sure that it's the other way around. So, since the Shine Spark takes away your life energy, there is an energy recharge station here, as you can see. Just in case you need the recharge. So, yeah, the Decora tells you, shows you, so you run until you start flashing, and then you duck, and then you push the jump button. And that's how you Shine Spark up like that. Shine Sparking in directions other than up, I always have trouble remembering how to do that. Now there are a couple items in this general area I want to get. One of them is this way, to the left. Now there's a missile expansion right up there, and it takes me a few tries to wall jump up to it. And the reason it takes me a while is because the D-pad is really touchy, and when I try to push away from the wall on that second part up there, rather than just pushing straight to the right, I push right and up, diagonally. And pushing up causes me to get knocked out of the somersault, and if you're knocked out of the somersault, you can't wall jump. You have to be somersaulting to wall jump. And there I finally got it. Now, I wasn't sure if there was anything else for me to find around here. So I just basically gave up on that stuff over on the left and went through this door here. Now, since I have the wave beam, I can get through that gate, but I had the same trouble with wall jumping here, where instead of just pushing directly away from the wall, I pushed away and up, diagonally. Fortunately, I only had that happen once. So anyway, here's another energy tank. And I dropped a power bomb to check if there was anything else in here. That was enough to convince me that there wasn't. Now, the way you are quote-unquote supposed to get through that room is to use that Grapple Beam block. Obviously, I can't do that because I don't have the Grapple Beam yet. But if you are okay at wall jumping, then that's enough to get you through there. So now my next goal is that little sliver of blue that's almost directly to the right. I'm gonna go up there. Now this is a rather nifty secret area that kind of ties a lot of the map together. So you might think this power bomb is all that's down here. You would be mistaken. There is more. If you drop another power bomb, you end up at the place where you originally got the morph ball. Now there are a few more items along this direction. I wasn't able to get all of them. But I did get at least one good one. And there it is, another energy tank. The first time I came through here, you might remember, I was like, I'm sure there's an energy tank in the ceiling, but I just don't remember where it is. You know, once I had the spazer, my shots were wide enough that I was able to find it. Now there is another item. It's up here. But I'm not able to get it yet. I can't go through water. Now I believe there is an invisible platform above those spikes, but even then, yeah, I suddenly remembered when I left the room, isn't there an invisible platform up there? But you know, even then, because of the water, getting up to that invisible platform is, well, at the very least, extremely difficult. Too difficult for me, I can't manage it. Okay, so I didn't want to use a power bomb if I didn't have to, and by figuring out that I could jump a little bit to the right, I was able to get out of here with just the morph ball. So I am still going to have to come back to get that to get through that room with the water. But I still think getting that energy tank and everything else I was able to get down here was absolutely worth the try. The time, I should say. Getting that guy next to the wall, I was able to just blast him through the wall like that. Okay, so that ends my misadventures in that little section. Now I'm going to go back down to Norfair. After all, there's some places there that I can explore now that I have power bombs as well. And here we are back at the Noob Bridge. Again, this bridge here is basically a test of, did you bother to read the instructions? Now that big blue room a bit below me, I do want to go through there eventually, but it's too early. I'm sure there's a way to get through there using the shine spark. But again, I don't really know how. So, I'm going to come back later. Now, your average speedrunner pretty much just ignores that room. But, you know, that's not what I'm doing. This isn't a speedrun. Okay, so I tried to jump across that gap with the water and missed the jump. And had to sort of trick jump my way out of the water. And here we are back at the glass tube. I still say the glass tube is ridiculously good-looking graphics for a 16-bit game. Now, I was about to go down to Norfair, and then I suddenly remembered that off in the area you go to fight Kraid, there is actually something that I could get there. And I might as well get it now so that I don't have to come back later. Okay, so far so good. Now I gotta get rid of these key hunters, they'll just be in my way otherwise. Now the item I want to get is right here. Right here, see? Missile expansion. Now this one's kind of tricky. If I am going to succeed in getting in there after a few tries, but this is a place where you really want to have the morph ball jump. And again, it's really annoying how late in the game you get it. Because unless you are good enough, and I'm just barely good enough to make it. I didn't want to use a power bomb there. A normal morph ball bomb would have done. But, you know, whatever. That's a really tricky jump to make, and I'm actually surprised I was able to make it. But, yeah. That would be an ideal place for the morph ball jump. But that would mean waiting until very late in the game and then coming all the way back here, and it really would be going a long way out of your way. And down we go into Norfair. Now I wanted to check the map because I need to go into the place where I got the ice beam before. I don't need to go all the way to where the ice beam was, but this is the starting point. And yeah, now I go down here. I tried to get a speed booster charge, but all of these blasted little enemies got in my way. And because I was feeling a little bit vengeful, I just went back and murdered the rest of them. So this brings you to a shaft where all of those platforms are crumble blocks. Every last one of those platforms is a crumble block. So getting back up there, not really possible. And now this brings me to the door above the place where I fought Crocomire. Now, what I do at this point is get a speed booster charge and then try to make it off to the off to the right. Because there's a pickup off to the right. This probably wasn't the right time to do it. But I went and did it anyway. And after I got up there and obtained that energy tank, it suddenly occurred to me, in order to get back, I'm going to have to wade through all of that acid. Because I can't get another speed booster charge here, and I don't have the grapple beam, so I can't use those grapple beam blocks. So, kind of careless, but, you know, whatever. I managed to get it, so that part's done. And then I got stuck here trying to jump over there, even when I succeeded at that wall jump. Yeah, so I got stuck in there and it took me forever to get out of that acid. I lost more than half of my life meter. Fortunately, these guys are here. 5 of them come out of that spawn point at a time, and they will almost always drop refills, either for ammo or for health. So yeah, I was able to refill my health really quickly, just by blasting those guys and taking their energy. And I was trying to decide whether I should go through that door or not. In the end, I believe I decided to just keep on going downward. Now down below is another room that, as you can see from the map there, I've been in before. When I was here before, I couldn't make it work, because even though I had the speed booster, these blocks I'm standing on right now were getting in my way. You have to use power bombs to destroy them. Now that they're out of the way, I have enough space to build up a speed booster charge. But it took me a few tries. What you're supposed to do is get a speed booster charge and then jump at the top of that little ramp there. And I just kept on pushing the jump button a split second late. And rather than jumping from the ramp, I just ran right off the end of it. There, we got it. Wanted to see what else was in that room, so I did that jump. And now here we have the Grapple Beam. Excuse me, Grappling Beam. Now, it's easy enough to wall jump up the other side and get to the door that way. But hey, if you have the Grapple Beam, you can do it like that. Now, the Grapple Beam in this game can actually damage enemies and open beam doors. It's not really a weapon, but it works the same as one in many respects. So if you have to switch to the Grapple Beam, or even just want to switch to the Grapple Beam for some reason, it's not like it leaves you defenseless. It's not like you can't do anything else with it. Now, for a moment I was tempted to drop down to the water to see what was down below there, but reason won out over curiosity, and I elected not to do that. So now I had to decide where to go next. There is a room up and to the right, and it's quite a distance away, so I had to decide, how am I going to get there? So I spent a few moments sort of plotting my course, trying to decide how to, get to that room up there. It's above that save room that was up and to the right, quite a bit up and to the right. It really is a good distance away. Now, in addition to that, there is something over to the left here, and I can use that guy as a grapple beam point to get to it. I wasn't quite far enough this time, though. And I decided to farm some pickups from these guys. Okay, so one more time. And we get to a missile door. And on the other side of it, a power bomb expansion. Yeah, you don't want to miss that, and then have to come back for it later. So I was wondering if there was something in this room that I could get by power bombing the place, but no, there's nothing else in there. So yeah, now we're done in this area. And that was a lucky jump there. I did not seriously plan to land on that little platform there. But hey, I managed it, so I'm not going to complain. Now, this is when I really should have gotten that energy tank at the far right end of Crocomeyer's room, because with the grapple beam I could have gotten back much more easily. So once again I was plotting my course. See, if you go to the save room that's very far up and right, there's another secret room. Well, not exactly a secret room. There is another room above that one. And the first time I was in there, I tried to use a tricky wall jump to get up to that room early, and I just wasn't able to make it work. And so I gave up and decided to come back later when I had the grapple beam. And hey, I have the grapple beam now. Lets me get up through this room easily enough. Okay, so now I'm in a really convenient place to get to my destination. I could go immediately to the right through that save room and along that corridor, but I'm pretty sure that would actually get me to a dead end where I wouldn't be able to get into the room that I want to get to. So instead, I started jumping up, and then discovered, hey, there's a power bomb door here. Let's check what's inside of it. Now in here, map room. It seems kind of odd that you can't get the map until this late. I mean, I've been almost everywhere. There aren't very many more places to go. But now look almost directly to the right, and you'll see a save room with a blue square above it. That little blue square is where I'm headed. So the best way to get there, at least from my current location, is to go through those two big rectangular rooms to the right, and through that hallway to the right of them. So that's what I'm going to do. And that was a really weird sound effect. I'm not sure why the game did that. Possibly an artifact of the emulation. Because, you know, that's what Nintendo Switch Online is. These are all emulated games. Now, down in one of those lava pits is a missile expansion, but I already got that one. I already got it the first time I came through here. At the time when I recorded this, I wasn't absolutely certain about that. So I briefly went down there until I remembered, oh wait, no, I have gotten that missile. Never mind. And now through here... Okay. So far, so good. Alright, so this is the room where I want to be. Now, up above here is, you might have seen briefly, a super missile door. It is possible to get there with a kind of tricky bit of wall jumping, but I was just never able to do it. Not in this playthrough, at least. I've done it before, but I wasn't able to do it this time. So, yeah, now that I have the Grapple Beam, it's a lot easier. Now, you might think this missile expansion is all there is. Not true. There is a secret corridor over there, and it took me a little while to remember the best way to get up there. I tried to do the same trick I did in the Crateria area to get that missile expansion earlier, jumping up there, activating the morph ball, and trying to get through that way. That was just not working. And then, after several tries of that, I suddenly had a brainwave and remembered, hey, there is a much easier way to do this. Lay a power bomb, and that thing suddenly rises from the lava. A lot easier. I'm going to end up down the lava quite a few times on this, while passing through here. For example, I forgot that this platform hides a missile expansion, and when you shoot it, it collapses and you get dumped into the lava. But the reserve tank, that's the real prize. That's what I really wanted when I came in here. And that was a nifty little wall jump I used to get up there. I'm actually kind of surprised I was able to do it. So anyway, we're done in there. And I got dumped into the lava again. So, I'm going to do a little bit more exploration. That blue area immediately down below, I'm going to fill in some of it. And I accidentally laid a power bomb there, which I did not intend to do. But it opened up the entire little tunnel there, so I was fine with that. Now, if you go down from here, there will be an energy refill station, and from there, a tunnel that I began exploring but didn't get all the way through. Now, I'm not just refilling the life meter you can see there, I'm also refilling the emergency tank that I just picked up. So I want to go down this shaft, through the door at the bottom. And then to the right. Now, I would wager there is a way to use the speed booster to get through here. But I don't know or remember. I made it most of the way before taking some damage. And it turned out there wasn't any kind of expansion pickup over here like I thought there might be. Instead, it was a way to get into this area, which I had visited before, but I don't actually want to be here yet. That room on the other side of the power bomb door, I don't want to go there yet. It's too early. I'll be coming back here much later. And now we're going to go through here. I completely forgot that I could have turned on the ice beam to freeze those guys down in the lava so that they couldn't attack me. No matter. I made it through well enough. Okay, so now we need to go to the left. And I forgot for just a split second that I need to use the speed booster to get through here. And this is where we're going to end the episode. So, viewers, thank you very much for watching. Let's play Super Metroid. In the next episode, we are going to head out of Norfair, back into Brinstar, and then up from there, eventually getting to the wrecked ship. And I will see you then.